He's illegitimate because he's not crooked Hillary, but she's legitimate. You're really sick. My dear sister Maxine Waters, great sister of ours, she came out strong. He's on a fast track to being impeached. White folk listening. What did I say 2 years ago? He's peeling back the skin of the onion of white civility. That's what I said. I said, if you vote for him, you'll be on your way to hell in a rocket ship. Now look at the breakup of America and the breakup of the Western world. The white man is going down. It's time to rule is up. You can take it or let it alone. Have you ever seen so much confusion among people of so-called intelligence? Listen to the talking heads on TV. They're messed up. I'm looking for 10,000 in the midst of a million. Listen, listen. I'm looking for 10,000 in the midst of the million.
Millions. Midst of the million.
10,000 fearless men.
Men.
Who say death is sweeter than continued life under tyranny. Night in Ferguson, everybody's on edge. White folks ain't never been on edge after they killed a black man. Tonight, they're on edge. So on edge that our president has come out from behind the curtain. To ask black young people, cool it. That's not our way. I heard you, Mr. President. And I asked myself a question. What brings you out of the shadows? Eric Holder, what brought you out now to tell black youth to be peaceful? And you preachers, your day of being the pacifier for the white man's tyranny on black people. You got to know they're not going to hear you anymore. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not going to hold no more? Why don't you stand up? the president and the attorney general know that this is going on in every city and town in America where black people live. But they know an explosion is going to come. They know it. See,
Islam is a religion that preaches peace, and the overwhelming majority of Muslims are peaceful.
Islam is not our adversary. Muslims are peaceful and tolerant people and have nothing whatsoever to do with terrorism.
It's going to be violent.
a traitor is not your brother. You haven't learned that yet. And unfortunately, brothers and sisters, some of these kinds of people we will have to execute.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I know that I'm born to do that. I mean, I've known this for years, and that aspect of my life frightened me. But I've grown accustomed to it now. That there are people among us that we will absolutely chop their heads completely from their bodies for the betrayal.
They talk about the burqa. It's like you've got burqas just everywhere. Everywhere. They've got no place in modern society, burqas. The burqa's just a complete... That to integration, that to Britain.
On the eve of the EDL's march into London's Tower Hamlets, Tommy Robinson took us on a tour of another neighborhood much closer to his home.
This area here, I used to come down this area with my mum when I was younger. Just go shopping. This area now is literally just a complete Muslim area. It's got 90 mosques all within a stone's throw. And plans for another 6.
So driving through this area, are you unwelcome here?
Oh yeah, I'm completely unwelcome here, yeah.
What would happen if you were to walk through the streets here?
If I was walking the streets, I'd get battered. If I tried to walk from one end to the other, I wouldn't get out. Because they get on their phones so quickly. There's Saiful Islam, that one there. Yeah, he's the leader. Yeah. What? What have I got to talk to you about? What have I got to talk to you about? What have I got to talk to you about?
What have you got to say about Islam and that, innit?
Yeah, I have,
yeah. Yeah? So why didn't you say it now?
What do you want me to say? It's a ideology, it's got no place.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's got no place, bruv.
And what you
Sharia
got?
law's got no place in
What
this
you
country.
got?
What do you mean, what have I got?
Go and tell me,
What do you
innit?
mean,
What do you
have I
stand
got?
for?
What do I stand for?
Yeah, what do you
stand for?
stand for?
Integration, bruv. I don't stand for paedophilic practices, yeah?
Yeah? What do you stand for? Go on, tell me.
What do you mean, what do I stand for? What do you stand for?
Racism,
How's it racism?
Eh?
How's it racism? How's it racist to oppose a fascist ideology?
Fascist ideology.
It is
And what do
fascist.
you? You're racist.
How am I racist?
You hate Asians,
what
yeah?
race? What race are Asians? What race are Muslims?
I heard. Come on, Clown. Where are you running away
Oh,
from?
because I know,
Why you
I'm
running
not
away
going to know
from?
what you like, bruv. You have
Why
about
you-
100 you in a minute. You f***ing little chief. You f***ing chief. Prick, you see? That is Islam. You f***ing little prick. The thing is, you get out of this car, they'll be here from everywhere. Watch how many of them now turn up. Watch how many of them now turn up. I'll do your window up so you can't get out, because I'm telling you, look. F***ing pussy. Watch what I get with your f***ing houses, you f***ing mug. F***ing tramp. That is what they're like, you see? Now you understand, innit? Do you think that man is usually a nice, tolerant person? Do you think that he's bringing his children up to be tolerant towards our children? No. Do you know what I mean? He's telling them that we've got the devil in us, etc., etc. We're all going to burn in hellfire. So when we say we're living amongst Islamist, fanatical, Sharia-driven scum who wish to completely destroy this nation, you just met one of them.
Saida, married at 9 to a 60-year-old man. 8 years on, she's on the run from him.
He doesn't care if I'm dead or alive.
Saida is just one girl in the most shocking set of statistics in Afghanistan. 60% of women are still married as children, often at 9 or 10. Under Afghan law, girls can't marry under 16, but the law's ignored by families and the government.
There was an old man in the village who had already killed 2 wives and had a very bad reputation. No one would even let him take a dog for a walk.
Saida's father died when she was little, and her brothers claimed her as their property. They sold her to the old man as his wife.
If he saw a shoe or a stick, anything, he would beat me with it. I spent 7 years with him, as if I was sitting on a hot stove all the time. I had 4 miscarriages because of the beating and the stress.
Then her husband took Saida on the road, all over Afghanistan, to places where they weren't known, to make money from her. He sold her, forced her into having sex with other men.
He would say I was his daughter. He actually sold me to 3 or 4 people. You understand what I mean? He took money from these people. I would cry and say, "For God's sake, what's happening to me?"
It was in Mazar-e-Sharif, a government-controlled city, that I found Saida. She'd confided in a woman at a shrine. The police were alerted and Saida was taken to a woman's shelter. Now her stepfather and staff at the shelter are helping her to get a divorce. But Saida's husband won't agree to let her go. He's unlikely to ever be prosecuted for what he did to a child.
I am very scared. He is in touch with my stepdad through the phone. When I talk to him, he says he is praying to God for an opportunity to drink my blood. He says he wouldn't even care if he dies after that.
Saida's childhood has been destroyed. She's 17 and can't read or write. But she knows that only by educating girls and boys will Afghanistan's women be brought out of the dark ages.
All the problems we face are to do with a lack of schooling. People who are educated will not make their daughters and sisters suffer.
Americans must know that we're putting the American people first again. On trade. So true. On trade, on immigration, on foreign policy, the jobs, incomes, and security of the American worker will always be my first priority. No country has ever prospered that failed to put its own interests first. Both our friends and our enemies put their countries above ours. And we, while being fair to them, must start doing the same. We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. The nation state remains the true foundation for happiness and harmony. I am skeptical of international unions that tie us up and bring America down, and will never enter. And under my administration, we will never enter America into any agreement that reduces our ability to control our own affairs. NAFTA, as an example, has been a total disaster for the United States and has emptied our states, literally emptied our states, of our manufacturing and our jobs. And I've just gotten to see it. I've toured Pennsylvania. I've toured New York. I've toured so many of the states. They have been cleaned out. Their manufacturing is gone. Never again. Only the verse, and I have to say this strongly, never again. Only the reverse will happen. We will keep our jobs and bring in new ones. There will be consequences for the companies that leave the United States only to exploit it later. They fire the people. They take advantage of the United States. There will be consequences for those companies. Never again. Under a Trump administration, no American citizen will ever again feel that their needs come second to the citizens of a foreign country. I will view, as president, the world through the clear lens of American interests. I will be America's greatest defender and most loyal champion. We will not apologize for becoming successful again, but will instead embrace the unique heritage that makes us who we are.